Hello and welcome everyone. This is Professor Siddharth Surana. I hope you guys are doing good और मैं तो हमेशा मस्त ही रहता हूँ. Welcome to the last and final episode of MCQ Season 3 applicable for May and November 22 exams. This one good emotional journey comes to an end. All good things have to come to an end. So a couple of things that I would like to say, because I know that at the end you are not going to watch. It's better that I say at the beginning itself. Some are like, no sir, skip intro. So, of course, 1800 MCQs are now getting covered. All the case studies you've already seen, the easy ones, the difficult ones, all types of questions, full variety. These questions will ensure that you get good number of marks. Be careful about the provisions. Be careful of where you can go wrong. Institute has got limited pool of MCQs. We have covered up just about everything, and thus this should ensure, of course, till May 21 RTP is covered. So December 21 RTP is not covered, but there is a separate lecture on the channel for December 21 RTP. You can search for it, and by the time your attempt comes May 22, November 22 RTP may be out, so that lecture will also be recorded. So other than the MCQ lectures, December 21 onwards, make sure that you watch the December 21 onwards. Why I am saying, because in future, now that these questions are constant in the book, I am not going to change the chapter wise questions. Any new question that I add now, I am going to do them as addendum. So new questions of December RTP, then May RTP. So in future attempts also, again and again, we don't have to do these lectures. You can use these lectures, and the amendments also you can study. Amendment revision lectures are also there. Well then, all the best for your upcoming exams. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for watching. Your motivation or your participation, your love and affection motivates actually me also to work hard. And let's then go for it. We are in our chapter clubbing of income. Last thing that we studied is IFOS, so clubbing, set of deductions, and that last part BEPS, tax treaties and model tax convention के ऊपर भी some case study based MCQ. We have about 20 odd questions over there also. Deductions में good number of questions. So we are still going to have more than 150 questions, including case based scenarios also, but some easy ones also. Mr. Lakshman Surana confers the right to receive rent with respect to his house property on his wife, Mrs. Lakshman Surana, without transferring the house. This right is revocable after 2 years, in whose hands the rent of house property is taxable. That means this is transfer of income without transfer of asset, and therefore clubbing provisions will be applicable. Mrs. Ujwal, wife of Mr. Ujwal, received commission of 30,000 from ABC Limited, where Mr. Ujwal 25% substantial interest. She does not have the professional or technical qualification, then 30,000. Can I say without qualification, if husband has substantial interest, then clubbing provisions will be applicable. Which among the following is the reason for including other person's income in the assessee's total income? So that government gets more taxes? No. To prevent diversion of income from higher slabs individual to other lower slab individuals. Under section 60, for taxability of income for transferor, income should be transferred without asset to whom? Under 60, the transferee can be any person. The relation is not specified. 64(1)(2), where both husband and wife have substantial interest, then income will be taxable in whose hands? That spouse who has got higher income. Mrs. Surbi transfer her asset to her friend Alpa, which was revocable after her death. Then income arising from the asset will be taxable in whose hands? Whenever a transfer is not revocable during the lifetime of, what do you mean by revocable transfer? That I will take it from you whenever I want. But if we say that you keep this asset till you are alive, I will take it only if you die. That means in your lifetime I will not revoke it. Then clubbing provisions not applicable. Miss Payal, minor child, received cash prize of 5,000 for winning a quiz competition. 5,000. Is it personal skill? Then clubbing not applicable. Special skill, manual labor. Rakesh Surana transferred his house property to his wife without adequate consideration, and wife received total of 3 lakh. This 3 lakh will be taxable. In fact, in house property, Rakesh Surana will be treated as the deemed owner also. Shailesh Surana gifted shares worth 6 lakh to his wife without consideration. On 31 December 2021, she received dividend of 7,000. So obviously, dividend will be clubbed in the hands of Shailesh Surana. This 7,000 was deposited by her in bank, and she received interest of 500 from the bank. This interest is accretion. So this is the original income that will be clubbed, but this is accretion. Then both 7,000 and 500. 7,000 will be taxable in the hands of husband and 500 in the hands of wife, because accretion ke upar no clubbing. So first income husband, second income wife. Where marriage of parents does not subsist, then income of minor will be assessed if the parents have separated, that parent who maintains the child. Mrs. Deepak Rathod, Mrs. gave a loan of 5 lakh at 12% on 10/4/21 to Mr. Deepak Rathod, which he is supposed to repay after 5 years. Mr. Deepak Rathod invested this amount in his business. Capital of his business on 31st March 21 was 3 lakh and he earned a profit of 2,80,000. This 280 will be taxable in whose hands? Mr. is earning income, money is received from wife. First of all, it's a loan, it's not a gift, and secondly, it was given on 10th April and thus Mr. Deepak Rathod clubbing provisions not applicable. While including income of minor child, exemption of rupees 1500 per child, very easy. Provisions of clubbing of income is applicable to minor, minor stepchild, married daughter, stepchild, adopted child, all of them will be covered. Under which of the following situation income will be assessed in the hands of parent? Where income is earned due to talent, then no, minor will pay. ATU, no. Manual labor, no. None of the above. Which of the following situation clubbing provision will not be attracted? Asset transferred to spouse without consideration, attracted. Asset transferred to brother's wife and in return brother also transferred to assessee's wife, so attracted. Cross transfer, indirect transfer. Asset transferred to friend which is revocable anytime, so clubbing will be attracted because revocable transfer. Income of minor child due to professional skill. Mr. Gisulal has taken FD of 50,000 in the name of his minor married daughter. Daughter received 5,000 as interest. Who will pay tax? Even if it is minor married daughter, clubbing will apply. But which parent? That parent whose total income is higher, not father-in-law. Not father-in-law. Miss Shama transferred money 6 lakh to her friend Shikha's spouse and Shikha transferred 6 lakh to her friend Shama's daughter-in-law, means cross transfer. This amount was invested back by the respective spouse and daughter-in-law at 10%. Then 60 will be taxable. Shama's income is received by Shikha's spouse, correct? And Shikha's income is received by Shama's daughter-in-law. That means, can I say it is not going to be the spouse or daughter-in-law? It's a case of cross transfer. So Shama and Shikha will be paying tax. Mr. Bandar gifted his house property to minor married daughter. Married daughter, not minor. Oh, not minor, major daughter. Income from some property, such property will be taxable. Is it spouse or son's wife? No. Then will clubbing apply? No. And if clubbing not applicable, then Bandar's daughter. If property is transferred by member to HUF is subsequently partitioned amongst the members of family, income derived from such converted property as is received by the spouse of the transferor. Matlab member transfers to HUF, clubbing applies, and after partition if spouse receives, it is like indirectly member has transferred to spouse and thus income of the transferor member, it will be included. Miss Neha, member of HUF, transferred her house property to HUF. After partition of HUF, this asset was transferred to Neha's spouse, means indirectly Neha has transferred to spouse. Spouse received 65,000 as rent, in whose hands it will be taxable? Clubbing will apply. Mr. Chaitanya Agarwal transferred his plot of land to his wife Swati Agarwal out of love and affection, means no agreement to live apart and inadequate consideration. That means whether it is rent from land or capital gain, both will be clubbed, which was acquired by Chaitanya in 2008 for 50 lakh. Mrs. Agarwal, that means his wife, sold the asset for 89 lakh. What will be the amount of capital gain? And cost inflation index is given, and in whose hands? First of all, it will be in the hands of Chaitanya, because whether capital gain, in fact, or revenue income, in fact, capital loss also, don't forget, clubbing applies also on negative income. So 89 lakh minus 50 lakh with indexation, whether profit or loss, it will come in the hands of Chaitanya. That means we will have to calculate this gain or loss. Sale consideration is 89 lakh, though it is sold by the wife, but clubbing will apply in the hands of Chaitanya because asset received from spouse. Index we will do 50 lakh starting from this year 8-9 and ending on 21-22. So 8-9 se lagakar 21-22, 8-9 to 21-22 we have 137 and 317. ICOA, it is showing a loss of 2669 343 and even negative income is going to be clubbed. Very easy though. Income of minor child from FD with bank made out of income earned from scholarship. Scholarship ka income may not be clubbed, but that bank FD will be clubbed with the parent whose income is higher. Exemption of certain amount not exceeding the income clubbed is available 1032, where income is clubbed with the parent. What is the maximum amount? 1500 per child? Yes. 1500, is that restriction of 2 children? No. And 2000 is not the answer. So 1500 per child. Vijay Khatri transferred his building to HUF without consideration 5518. HUF received rent of 3 lakh. Very easy, self-acquired asset. Clubbing will apply. Mr. Nikhil is member of Basant HUF. He is a doctor by profession. He took interest-free loan from HUF and started own clinic from this money. His gross receipts were 12 lakh. This 12 lakh will be assessable in whose hands? It is not spouse or son's wife. It does not fall in any of the clubbing. It is income of Nikhil. Nikhil will pay tax. On 5/4/21, A Private Limited issued 20,000 shares to X at 40 per share. Face value per share is 10 and fair market value is 30. So face value 10, FMV 30, but issue price is 40. Means issue price is more than face value and fair market value. That means it's a case of 56 to 7B. Private company issuing shares to resident, we will have to check. Otherwise, other conditions are satisfied. X was not in India from date of issue. Date of issue is 5th April till 2nd April. But then he came back to India. Matlab 3rd September se. He is here in March. That's more than 180 days. That means issue of shares by private company to a resident, more than face value, more than fair market value. Then we will pay tax, but not on the full premium. Excess over market value. So 10 rupees is the excess over market value into 20,000. 2 lakh will be taxable. Whether any tax implications arise? If yes, compute the tax. No tax implication, wrong. Amount would be chargeable to tax irrespective of residential status. No, we are making it pay tax only because it is issued to resident. Amount will be 2 lakh. Full premium of 30 rupees into 20,000 is not taxable. Only excess over market value. Mrs. Kavita, wife of Mr. Sundar, is a partner in a firm. Her capital contribution of 5 lakh on the firm 1st April 21 includes 3 lakh. Means first day of the year, 3 lakh is husband, 2 lakh is Kavita. That means whatever is the profit for the year, 3/5, 60% will be clubbed in the hands of husband. On 2nd April 21, she further invested 1 lakh out of gift received. Any further gift in the middle of the year excluded. We have to see the proportion on the first day of the year. So during the current year, whatever is the profit, 3/5 के proportion में clubbing will apply. Firm paid interest on capital 60,000, share of profit 50. The entire interest has been allowed as deduction of the firm. So first of all, share of profit is not taxable. When an income is not taxable, there is no question of clubbing, no clubbing, not taxable. Topic over. What is taxable? 60,000. Why taxable? Because allowed to the firm, then taxable. And in this 60,000, obviously 60%, that means 36,000 will be clubbed for Mr. Sundar and 24 Kavita will pay tax. So share of profit is exempt, but capital is taxable for Kavita. Interest, no. Exempt, 40 is included for Sundar, no. It's 60%. You will not take the additional gift of 1 lakh. You will only take 3/5. So 36 and 24. Profit is exempt, 36 for Sundar and 24 for Kavita. That's your absolutely right answer. 27C. Person shall be deemed to have substantial interest. Dekho, beneficial ownership is 10%, but substantial interest is 20%. Mr. Raman out of his own funds had taken FDR of 10 lakh bearing interest of 10% per annum, payable half yearly in the name of his wife Meenu. Means income will go to Meenu, but he gave funds. Obviously clubbing will apply. Interest earned during the year was 1 lakh and it was invested by Meenu in a business which resulted in net profit of 55. That's accretion. That means 1 lakh pay clubbing, but 55 no clubbing. So 1 lakh Raman, 55 Meenu. How shall the income be assessed? Both for Raman wrong, both for Meenu wrong. Interest for Meenu and business for Raman. No. Interest will be clubbed for Raman and business profit for Meenu. That's your chapter, clubbing of income. Let's go ahead without wasting any time. Set off and carry forward of losses, because deductions is big. That is why we have near about 100 questions in deductions. Bhikari Limited is engaged into production of fertilizers, that is 35 AD. नहीं बोला होता then also you should be aware. अरे आपको पता होना चाहिए कि fertilizer is specified business. Earned profit of 10 lakh. Simultaneously it also runs furniture business which incurred loss of 5 lakh. What will be the total income? फर्नीचर का लॉस क्या स्पेसिफाइड बिजनेस के सामने एडजस्ट होगा? लॉस ऑफ स्पेसिफाइड ओनली अगेंस्ट प्रॉफिट ऑफ स्पेसिफाइड, बट नॉर्मल बिजनेस अगेंस्ट स्पेसिफाइड अलाउड. स्पेक्यूलेशन बिजनेस कैन बी सेट ऑफ ओनली अगेंस्ट स्पेक्यूलेशन बिजनेस. 70 enable loss set off against the one source of income against income from any other source under the same head. Intersource. What are the exceptions? अगर मैं आपको याद कराऊं, स्पेक्यूलेशन लॉस, स्पेसिफाइड लॉस, लॉन्ग टर्म लॉस, OMRH loss, do you remember? And of course casual losses का you don't get. So capital gains, no, only long term के ऊपर restriction है, तो wrong answer. Long term loss, right? Speculation, right? Specified loss and OMRH. Short term में ऐसा rule नहीं है, Short term can be adjusted against long term also. So this is going to be your correct answer. There was a loss from textiles in 2021, 1,50,000. In 21-22, business was closed and printing business was started. Can it be adjusted? Yes, it can be adjusted, because other than speculation and specified, you can adjust against any business profit. In fact, profit may you can take speculation specified also. PGBP loss of 1 lakh, house property 70, salary income 90. What is the total income? PGBP cannot be adjusted against salary, only year. So we will adjust 70. This will become 0. This will be carried forward, but this 90 will be taxable. So if I ask you total income in the question, then your answer will be 90. How much loss carried forward? If that is the question, then your answer will be 30. Manali Limited has LTCL of 10. So adjust only against LTCG. STCG of 50. Cannot adjust loss here. Other way round hota na, long term gain, short term loss, then possible. PGBP of 20. House property of 50. That means, can I say only house property loss will be adjusted, and then total income of Manali remaining will be 20,000 rupees. Loss under house property can be carried forward. How many years? 8 hai. But 8 kaun sa? Current year will not be counted. 8 future years. House property against other head, maximum 2 lakh. Within house property there is no limit. SOP there is limit. LOP there is no limit. But other head maximum 2 lakh. And carry forward 8 years only against house property. Loss 310 of house property is allowed to be set off against house property of AY 20 to 23 of 5 lakh. To what extent? House property you can carry forward and adjust against house property without any limit. Brought forward loss from house property can be set off against only income from house property, but house property no limit. Other heads के सामने 2 lakh का limit है. So house property without limit. In 21-22, Chandu earned PGBP of 250, capital gain 150, house property 350. Losses to be carried forward. आप बोलेगा सर 4 के सामने 350 adjust, no, maximum adjust 2 lakh. तो carry forward कितना होएगा? 1,50,000 you will have to carry forward. Himanshu and company incurred loss of PGBP 1 lakh in 2021. On 1/4/21, Himanshu and company handed over business to Tushar, his brother. At the end, Tushar incurred a loss of 250 and other sources income of 150. What is the loss to be carried? See, total loss is given as Himanshu ka loss and Tushar ka loss. Himanshu ka loss cannot be carried forward because loss carry forward is available only to the person who incurred. Exception is inheritance, or it can be business reorganization like amalgamation, demerger. This is only handed over of business. So Himanshu ka loss not allowed. And this 250 you can adjust. Business loss against IFOS is allowed. Against salary and casual winnings it is not allowed. So 1 lakh will get adjusted. And how much loss will be carried forward? Only 150. If there is loss in business which is discontinued due to flood and you re-establish that business within a period of 3 years, then you can bindas carry forward. That means that in between ka period will not be counted. Business discontinued due to flood and re-established within 3 years, then the loss of the discontinued business can be set off in the year of re-establishment, or the balance loss can be carried forward. Here you can get the period of 8 years. Re-established business, because you had to temporarily shut it down. Successor of business cannot carry forward or set off predecessor except in case of inheritance. Otherwise, reorganization is there, of course. ABC amalgamated with XYZ in 17-18 and accordingly loss of 5 lakh and UAD of 250 of ABC was taken over by XYZ. One of the conditions of amalgamation was violated in 21-22 by XYZ and the loss remaining to be set off was 2 lakh, UAD 250. That means, listen, UAD was 250, pura ka pura 250 remaining. Anyways, business loss nahi set off hoega, tab tak we will not take UAD. Correct? Unlimited carry forward. But in business loss from 5 lakh, we have taken already 2 lakh. Means, listen, old company handed over 5 plus 250. New company ke pass remaining is 3 plus 250. Means 2 ka benefit is taken. But new company violated the condition. तो अब क्या करना पड़ेगा? First of all, जो बचा हुआ loss है that will lapse. मतलब 3 lakh and 250 both will lapse. Plus the 2 lakh which the new company has taken, that also has to be reversed and has to be paid tax. So loss and UAD both will lapse and 2 lakh loss which was earlier set off will now be taxable. Where private company succeeded by LLP, then successor LLP will be allowed to do what the successor can carry forward the business loss and UAD subject to, of course, certain condition. Loss in derivative business is going to be treated as normal PGBP loss. Here we are assuming that CTT is paid, because if CTT is not paid, then it will be treated as speculation. Business agriculture derivatives without CTT also it is treated as normal. Business loss of predecessor cannot be carried forward by successor. Where can it be carried forward? Inheritance, and these are reorganization cases. So these cases allowed to be carried forward. Conditions to be fulfilled by predecessor cooperative bank so that successor cooperative bank can carry forward by the loss. So loss of predecessor carried forward by successor, but uske liye condition hai that the business should have existed for minimum 3 years and minimum 75%, 3/4 of the book value of fixed assets have been continuously held for a period of 2 years. So ye 2 years ka business is not relevant, half of book value is not relevant, all this is not relevant. Okay, business should be done for 3 years and 3/4 of fixed asset should be held, 75% should be held for 2 years. In 21-22, a proprietary concern is converted into company. It has the following losses: business loss, specified loss, speculation loss. What is the loss that can be carried forward? Whenever business reorganization takes place, we are allowing the predecessor ka loss, but isme speculation loss is not allowed to be carried forward. So we can carry forward only 65,000. Loss from specified business can be carried forward. Specified business, no time limit like UAD. Short term and long term capital loss can be carried forward for 8 further years, 8 years immediately succeeding the year of loss. X Limited engage in purchase and sale of shares, which is principal business. Then what will the loss be treated as? In that case, it is going to be treated as normal business loss. Mr. X incurred LTCL from sale of listed shares in recognized stock exchange and STT paid profit first 1 lakh 0, balance 10%. But that does not mean 1 lakh is exempt. It is fully taxable. Only you get basic exemption, that first 1 lakh 0. So loss will be fully adjusted, but obviously it will be adjusted only against long term capital. Katrina Steel Fabricators is a partnership firm which means Salman, Shahrukh and Amir are equal partners. At the end of 2021, firm incurred loss of 3 lakh. That means can I say 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh? And UAD of 50. UAD you don't divide, UAD will remain with the firm. Shahrukh retired, Salman and Amir continue. Okay, that means this 1 lakh lapse. That means retiring partner ka loss lapse. So this 2 lakh and this 50 will be allowed. And in 21-22 they again incurred 1 lakh 50. 21-22. What will be the loss carried forward as on 31-3-22 of course. This 3 mein se 1 will lapse. So 2 allowed, UAD allowed, 250 plus 150. They can carry forward 4 lakh. What should be the set of losses? First rule is current year depreciation. After current year depreciation is taken, you can take brought forward. Obviously, brought forward when you have business and UAD, you will give preference to business loss because UAD unlimited carry forward. Then you can take your UAD last. So current year depreciation, UAD, wrong. Current year depreciation ke baad business loss, then UAD. Brought forward loss, then UAD and last mein current year depreciation, wrong. UAD first, wrong. First current year depreciation, then business loss, then UAD, and scientific research and family planning is a part of UAD. Closely held company is not eligible startup. Loss of company can be set off and carry forward only when same shareholders hold. Means I'll just explain what this section 79 is. It is applicable to private company. Supposingly in a past year you have suffered losses. Loss. Example 18-19. And in the current year 21-22 you want to adjust this loss. This is your current year. You want to bring forward within 8 years. If it is a private company, then what you have to check is on this date, whoever were the shareholders, minimum 51% should be shareholders on this date in terms of value, not number of. ऐसा नहीं कि there were 10 shareholders and उसमें से 6 should come here, 51 or 100 में से 51 should come here. Not number of shareholders, the holding capacity. It is possible that one shareholder has got 60%. He was shareholder here also. One shareholder has got 60%. He was shareholder here also and here also. That means 51% is common. Minimum 51% voting power on last day of year of loss should be common with minimum 51% voting power on last day of current year. Then only you can adjust the loss. But if it is a startup, then they say 100% होना चाहिए. For other cases, तो ये not eligible है तो 51 होएगा. Startup होता तो 100. And then there are couple of exceptions also. For example, company's insolvency application is accepted. Then this condition is not applicable. We will allow the set off. Maybe because of insolvency, shareholding pattern may have changed. Okay. So we will allow this loss. If the board of directors have suspended, then we will allow the loss. If the holding company ka ownership has changed, then subject to certain conditions, we will allow the loss. And if condition is not fulfilled, then we will allow selected losses. Okay, but here it is not an eligible startup. So what should be the minimum common holding on the last day of year of loss and last day of current year? It should be minimum 51%. In previous year 17-18, Hanvantmal Private Limited, closely held company, not a startup, incurred loss of 5 lakh. So 17-18, last date 31st March 18 call 5 lakh. In 17-18, shareholding is A26, B45, C29. Okay, so I think that is making your total of 100%. So इसमें से minimum 51% should be shareholder on the last day of current year in terms of value. In 21-22, remaining loss to be set off is 150. That means already we have taken some 350 ka benefit. In this year, there was changing shareholding due to a resolution approved under IBC, which is A26, means 26% common is achieved. C is 20. That means here A and C together held 55, but here they are holding only 46. And D is new. B and D are not common. So common shareholders ka what is the common percentage? Here they were holding together 51. Here they are holding together 46. This condition is violated, but insolvency petition is accepted, and if that is accepted, then the restriction is not applicable. Maharani Company is a proprietorship business of Maharani. Loss incurred by this business as on 31st March 21 is 150. Maharani died and legal heads take over and form ABC, a company partnership firm. Whether the loss will be allowed? Yes, because it is a case of inheritance. That means set off and carry forward to ABC will be allowed. Inheritance may allowed even if they change the form of organization. X Limited as on 31st March 21 has the following losses to be carried forward. House property 150, business loss 2 lakh, UAD 60, and return of 2021 is not filed within the due date. Then what will be allowed? House property will be allowed. This will not be allowed. UAD will be allowed. Matlab 150 and 60. House property allowed, business not allowed, and UAD will be allowed. First option is only right. What will be the loss to be carried forward by Shanu Bafna for 20-23? Income from business before depreciation is 1 lakh. Depreciation is compulsory. You have to take that first. Then only you can do losses. Income from rubber business is 1 lakh 20. Current year depreciation, you have to first adjust this. Then only you will take your losses. And then we have brought forward losses. So what people will do, sir, 1 lakh plus 120, that's the profit, 220, and in 220 you adjust. So nothing to carry forward. Gadeda, rubber business. That means in this business only 35% is taxable, 65 is agriculture. So 120 ka 35% and 1 lakh from your other business, that's your PGBP. Adjust current year depreciation and then check if you have remaining profits. Are samjha kya? So rubber business ka 35% will be 42,000. Other business 1 lakh. So total eligible profit is 142. Then first preference has to be current year depreciation. Then brought forward losses. You are remaining only with 16. So from your brought forward 45, we can adjust only 16 and balance 29 has to be carried forward. Balance 29. Only rubber business ka 35% you have to be careful. So only 29,000 is going to be carried forward. A Private Limited is a closely held company. It is a subsidiary of a foreign company, Y Incorporation, which has already issued 5 lakh to its shareholders. So Y has got 5 lakh shareholders. 5 lakh shares in terms of number of shares. During 1920, it incurred a loss of 10 crore which could not be set off and hence was carried forward. A Limited incurred a loss, cannot be carried forward. There was also unabsorbed depreciation of 1 crore. So business loss 10 crore, UAD 1 crore. During 2021, Y Incorporation amalgamated with Z. That means see, Y is holding. It's a subsidiary. So Y is holding in A Private Limited. Subsidiary, that means more than 50%. A has got 2 losses. 10 crore ka business loss, 1 crore ka UAD. A ki shareholding pattern mein, right now there is no change. But Y and Z are doing amalgamation. When Y and Z did amalgamation, then what will happen? Person Y got over and Z got created. So 245 ka shareholder have become common here. Only 29%. Here there were 5 lakh shares. Person holding 245 shares became shareholder in Z. Means total 5 lakh. But out of 5 lakh, how many came here? Only 2 lakh 45,000. That means can I say only 29% shareholders. Only 29% shareholders are common. When only 29% shareholders are common, then Y ka loss or the A ka shareholding pattern has changed. This company has changed to this company and only 49 for 29 क्यों बोल रहा हूँ 5 lakh है 245 है only 49% shareholding pattern is common. तो business loss नहीं हो सकता but the asset is with us, so UAD will be allowed to be set off. 49% common है, इसलिए business loss not allowed, but UAD is going to be allowed, and that's our chapter called set off and carry forward of losses. Let's go ahead. Next chapter, deductions under chapter 6. We are near completion, but deductions is a big chapter. Big questions, small questions, all type of questions we will be having here. Deductions under chapter 6 is not available against all our special rates, not allowed. Income from letting premises along with other facilities in SEZ is to be chargeable under PGBP. 80 IAC deduction is available to enterprise carrying on business of startup. Under 80 IAC, tax incentives for new startups are allowed. 100% profits for any how many years? 3 years, and out of how many years? 3 consecutive years out of first 10 years. So 3 consecutive years out of first 10 years. Deduction with respect to profits and gains from undertaking under infrastructure development under 80 IA redundant section, because infrastructure is now merged with 3580, but who had started earlier are continuing in this. Once upon a time it was in 80 IA. Whoever started, it was a big period, so they continued in 80 IA. But now whoever starts new will go in 35 AD. Okay, so 80 IA ka deduction was available for 10 years before new infrastructure facility came in 35 AD. Ma Limited started rail bridge in this date. Now if you start in this date, then you will not go in 80 IA. Now for new infrastructure facility 35 AD will be applicable. For claiming deduction under 80 IAC, eligible startup should use machinery or plant, but in case of second hand machinery, up to dash deduction can still be claimed. Second hand can be up to 20%. State whether true or false. Once deduction 80G is taken by EOP, no deduction shall be given to, obviously, to same amount. Nobody can take double deduction. Deductions under chapter 6 are deducted from income dash adjusting. Before adjusting or after adjusting? GTI is 5 heads clubbing set off. Everything done, then deduction. So can I say after adjusting? Mr. Mihir has GTI of 120 for 21-22 and chapter 6 of 150. What is the loss? See, you cannot take deductions more than GTI. So obviously there will be no loss that will be carried forward. 80C deduction is available to only individual HUF. Manyata Private Limited is eligible startup incorporated on 5/5/18. It holds a certificate from IMBC. Turnover is also within the limit of 100 crore. Profit is 99,56,000. Return is filed on 9th December 22. What is the deduction available? See, it is fulfilling all conditions, so available. Belated return में income related 80C 80D you will get, but income related deduction not enough. Savio has taken life insurance policy on 1/1/13, मतलब 13-14 onwards. 12-13 के बाद में 10% दिखाएगा. Capital sum assured is 2 lakh. Premium is 32, but we will apply 10%, not 20%. 20 होता तो 32 would have been allowed, but 10 है तो this is going to be 13 का answer is going to be B. 20,000 is going to be. Maximum permissible deduction very easy, 1,50,000. Rakesh Surana has taken LIC policy on 6/8/15, मतलब 10%. Sum assured 250 and premium paid is as follows: 20, 20, 22. Oh, हो गया cross. Sum assured is 250. नहीं हुआ. Sum assured is 250. What is 10% limit? 25,000. So what is the premium का limit? 10. Why 10? Because 12-13 के बाद में लिया. Okay, so 10%, 25 is limited, within limit, beyond limit. That means, can I say, when he receives the money, the income is going to be taxable in the hands of Rakesh Surana. One defect in the question given by ICAI is simple, that when this 270 is received, it is taxable because you have crossed the limit. The premium that you have paid over the years, you should be allowed the tax concession. So they should have given you only the net amount, but that net amount 154 is not given in the option only. When that is not given, the most appropriate answer will become 270. Life insurance premium of 160 was paid by Rahane for his major son. देखो 80C में children लिखा है तो major also allowed, but 160 नहीं होगा ना. Maximum it will be 150. Contribution by LLP for renovation of temple under 80G will be eligible for repair renovation of notified place of worship. Is it limited or unlimited? Limited category and 50%. So without limit cancel, and with limit में 100% cancel. 50% limited category. Sum received by Keyman insurance policy is, Keyman insurance policy का amount is not exempt. Keyman insurance policy not exempt, always taxable. Death case is exempt, maturity case exempt, but Keyman insurance taxable. Which of the following is not eligible for 80G? NSC is eligible. Bank FD of 1 year is not eligible. Time deposit 1 year is not eligible minimum. 5 years, and all these are also eligible. Maximum permissible deduction under 80G subject to qualifying limit is restricted to, what is the qualifying limit? What is the maximum limit? What is the qualifying limit? 50 of GTI, 10 of GTI? No, 10% of your adjusted total income. For computing adjusted total income, what do we do? GTI minus 111A, 112 other deduction, 111A, 112 other deduction, all of the above. Which of the following is not included in 100% without any qualifying? मतलब 100% unlimited नहीं है. Clean Ganga is 100% unlimited. This is 100% unlimited. 100% unlimited. Indira Gandhi is unlimited 50%. So not included. Prakash, age 39 years, has gross total income of 6 lakh. But income after deduction of chapter 6 से excluding 80G is 6. मतलब वैसे GTI is 7, not 6. GTI is 7, but after deduction is 6. Can I call this my adjusted total income? Because to compare my qualifying limit, I will take 10% of ATI and the donations are given. National Sports Fund, can I say unlimited 100? Rajiv Gandhi, unlimited but 50. Approved Charitable Trust, limited category, approved Association for Family Planning is limited category 100 and Charitable Trust limited category 50. Family Planning goes in 100 and this goes in 50. So here to we can directly apply 150, 26 and 25, 51,000. Here we will have to check. Actual donation is 90 and 10% of adjusted total income is 60. So what will qualify? Actual or 10% of ETA, whichever is lower, 60,000. From that 60,000, we will first target our 100%. Bring 40 here and take full 40 because you get 100. And from 60, if you have already brought 40 here, then remaining, you can't take 50. You can bring only 20, and in that 20 also you will get deduction only of 10. Let's solve it. Solve करके करेंगे. Unlimited में sports fund 100% 26 and Rajiv Gandhi 50%. So ये तो no problem. In limited category, actual donation is 50 plus 40, 90. But the maximum will be 10% of 6 lakh. Adjusted total 60. Means we choose 60. This has to be a portion between how much we give to family planning, how much we give to trust. Preferably give 40 first year because whatever you give here, you will get 100%, 40,000. And here, you will get only 50%, that is 10,000. So this 40,000 plus this 10,000. यहाँ का answer 10 है, obviously. यहाँ का answer is going to be 50%. That means the deduction that you will get for 40,000 because you have apportioned this first is full, but here it is half. And the total 40 plus 10 will make it 50. 51 plus 50 will make you deduction or give you deduction of 1 lakh and 1,000. A proprietor gave asset of 250 to institution established for charitable purpose. 80G is allowed only for cash donations. Kind donations not allowed. Conditions required to be fulfilled under 80GG. When you pay rent, no, you get deduction. There is a limit. 25% of your income, rent paid minus 10% of your income, or 5,000 per month, maximum 5,000 per month. But condition is you should not have any SOP. You should not be having any HRA. In the city in which you are living, your spouse or children should not be having any house. Subject to these conditions. So, accommodation should be occupied by the assessee for his residence purpose, obviously. Not receiving HRA, yes. And assessee or spouse or minor child should not own any house in that city, all of the above. Ram, a businessman whose total income before allowing 80GG is 4,60,000, paid house rent of 12,000 per month in respect of residential accommodation. Compute the deduction. देखो 3 लिमिट होता है. इसका 25% करोगे ना तो you will get 150. Then there is rent paid, that's 144 minus 10% of, जैसे HRA का exemption होता है 80GG is same 46. That will I think give you 10198. But maximum is 5,000 per month. And because maximum is 5,000 per month, 115 or 98, but it cannot exceed 60,000. Highest will be 60,000. 80G will not be available if cash donation is more than 2,000. For purpose of house property, Mamta took a loan from LIC 10 lakh. She repaid 2 lakh, which includes 50,000 as interest amount to LIC. What is the maximum allowable 80C deduction? See, 50,000 is interest. That means anyways principal is only 1.5, which is also the 80C ka maximum threshold, and accordingly 150. Deduction in respect of donation for scientific research or rural development 80GGA. All assessees. If you don't have PGBP, you can take. GG. Those who have PGBP will take 35, but those who don't have PGBP will take the deduction. Yeah. Deepak paid 350 to Oxford University for education of his child. What will be the deduction? Nothing. It has to be interest on the loan taken. Mr. Chor made the following investment: subscription to NSC, that's ATC, subscription to National Housing Bank, subscription to notified bonds of NABARD, Housing Bank, NABARD, all are 80, Senior Citizen Savings Scheme, ATC, and 5-year deposit. If it was less than 5 years, तो नहीं लेते. So all are ATC. 40 plus 20, 60 plus 30, 90, 90 and 40, 130 and 20, 150. What will be the allowable deduction? Coincidentally, within the maximum limit also. Contribution to Atal Pension Yojana by employees eligible. When employee contributes, one we have 50,000 in ATCCD 1B, and what is the other limit? Actual contribution or 10% of salary. Mr. A, age 40 years, has earned lottery income of 120 gross during the previous year. Also received FD interest. 40 years है तो FD interest, no TTB deduction. TTA में only saving account is covered, so no deduction. 30 is taxable. And he invested an amount of 10,000 in PPF and 24,000 in NSC. So what's the amount of deduction of ATC? See, that way 10 plus 24, 34 is eligible within 150 का limit, but इसके सामने deduction नहीं मिलता है. So that 34 maximum deduction you can take 30. तो 34 का deduction नहीं, deduction will be only of 30. Employer contributed 25,000 and employee contributed 30,000 to recognized provident fund. तो deduction आपको किसका मिलेगा? Deduction you get only for what you contribute. Employer contribution का आपको deduction नहीं मिलेगा. Siddharth Surana HUF made contribution of 10,000 for annuity plan of LIC. What will be the deduction of 80CCC? 80CCC का deduction is allowed only to individual, तो HUF को deduction नहीं मिलेगा. Contribution made by employee is 50,000 to Atal Pension Yojana for 21-22, and contribution made by employer is 40,000. Salary is 8 lakh. What is the deduction under 80CCD? Employer contribution is within 10% limit, तो fully allowed. And employee contribution, देखो first तो we will take 80CCD subsection 1B, no, उसमें ही 50 हो जाता है. इनफैक्ट एक्स्ट्रा मिलता 10% ऑफ सैलरी, अप टू 80 और ले सकता था, बट एक्चुअल कंट्रीब्यूशन is the highest amount. So 50 plus 40 both eligible, entire amount of 90,000. 80D for resident senior citizen age 60 years is available up to senior citizen, but resident होगा तो 50 का limit. Mr. Gemawat, an employee of Nakoda Limited, received 50,000 from NPS trust on account of closure of his account. So when you withdraw money from NPS, whatever you receive, uska 60% is going to be exempt. So what is the amount that Mr. Gemawat can take exempt? 60%, 30,000. Any payment from NPS trust to employee under pension scheme on partial withdrawal shall be exempt to the extent it does not exceed the amount of contribution. Kitna percent? 60%. Listen, if it is closure due to death, we will not take tax. But if you withdraw before that, then 60% will be exempt and 40% is going to be taxable. Medical insurance premium 70,000 was paid by Kishnad resident 85 years. Then what will be the deduction? 25 का लिमिट नहीं, 50 का लिमिट, 70 और 50 whichever is lower. HUF incurred medical expense of 35,000 on member resident age 55 years. What is the deduction? Medical expense है. HUF gets premium and expense, but expense के लिए senior citizen होना चाहिए अंदर HUF का deduction. Mr. Manish made a payment of medical insurance premium 30,000 for self in cash. Self है 25 allowed, not allowed. Medical insurance में cash is not allowed. Mr. Madhav paid 55,000 as medical insurance premium for father 65 years and 30,000 for mother 62. Both are resident. Okay, मतलब higher limit मिलेगा. 55 and 30, 85. The amount is 85, but obviously 85 will be restricted to 50. Parents का category का total limit is 50 because they are senior citizen. नहीं तो we would have applied 25 year also. Mr. Shastri incurred rupees 50,000 as medical expense for his parents. Non-resident 66. आप बोलेगा सर सीनियर सिटीजन का मेडिकल एक्सपेंसेस अलाउड, लेकिन रेसिडेंट होना चाहिए. नॉन रेसिडेंट का मेडिकल एक्सपेंस में नथिंग इज गोइंग टू बी अलाउड. मिस्टर लालू 32 years पेड 60,000 एज मेडिकल इंश्योरेंस प्रीमियम ऑन 1/4/21 फॉर 2 years. ये होता है, वी कैन पे फॉर 2 years एंड वी कैन स्प्लिट देम ऑन SLM बेसिस. सो ये 60 का वी कैन टेक 30 year and 30 year, but he is only 32 years old. So 30 and 30 of both years will be obviously restricted to 25 and 25. 30 and 30 of both years restricted to 25, 20. Mr. X, age 40 years, took a loan from bank for paying his daughter's B school matlab business school fees MBA on 1/10/17. Interest paid in 21-22 is 90. Whether any deduction is going to be allowed. Interest on education loan, even if it is for children, interest without any maximum limit allowed. Quantum of deduction under 80 DD dash in case of is dash, and in case of severe, matlab this is normal, this is severe, 75 125, 75 125 given in option B. Mr. Kumar contributed 10,000 by way of cash to political party, cash not allowed. 5,000 to electoral trust by check allowed. What is the deduction allowable? 10 not allowed, 5 allowed, 48 ka C. Karan Surana has taken education loan on 1st October 20. Civil engineer, later did MBA, that same person, my brother whom I talk about in class. Loan amount, irrelevant. Repayment of loan, irrelevant. Only interest ka deduction is allowed under 80E, 20,000 will be allowed. Where GTI includes profits derived from business of developing housing project, then what is the quantum of deduction? 100% of the profits from that eligible housing project. Which of the following conditions need to be fulfilled for claiming deduction of that housing project? Project should be approved in this period, that's right. In fact, this is extended to 22, so you can change that also. Completed within 5 years, yes. In Mumbai, the size of plot should be minimum 1,000. Other places, non-metro cities, it is 2,000, but metro it is 1,000. So yes, all of the above. During the previous year, ABC Limited, an Indian company, contributed sum of 2 lakh to electoral trust and incurred expenditure of 25,000 advertisement of political party. What is the amount of deduction? This is, they have not specified the mode of payment. So if not specified, you can't assume cash. You will have to assume by allowed mode, and thus 80 GGB, 2 lakh plus 225 total, 2 lakh 25,000. Assessees engaged in business of collecting and processing biodegradable waste is eligible for 100% only for first 5 years. True. As per 80JJAA, GTI of an assessee to whom 44AB applies includes profits derived from business, then deduction equal to 30% of your additional employee. Because we have already seen that in some of the case studies also of PGBP. In order to claim deduction under 80IBA, deduction with respect to profits from housing project, the carpet area of shop and commercial establishment should not exceed. What is the maximum threshold? 3%. Mr. A gave to Mr. B his plot of land in order to construct building for sale. Therefore, Mr. B is a works contractor who will develop the project. Then the profit of Mr. B is 50 lakh. Whether deduction will be available? No. Works contractor not available. Only developer ko allowed. If you are giving contract, contractor is basically labor, not allowed. Which of the following are conditions for 80JJAA? Not by splitting up, correct hai. 44AB, correct hai. CA report, correct hai. All of the above. X is a producer company having turnover of 200 crore. Profit is 1 crore. What is the deduction? See, producer company 100% of profits allowed, but turnover has to be less than 100 crore. It is 200 and therefore deduction will not be allowed. Cooperative society engaged in cottage industry earned profit of 38 lakh. When cooperative society is doing cottage industry business, 80P ke andar 38 lakh pura ka pura is going to be allowed. 80PA farm producer company having total turnover or less than, how much is eligible? Abhi dekha na 58 mein, it has to be less than 100 crore. Additional employee under 80JJAA excludes which of the following? Who gets more than 25, right? Less than 240 days and some cases 150, right? Does not participate in RPF, right? And thus all will be excluded. Ram contributed a sum of 15,000 annually for maintenance of his 40% dependent grandfather. तो आप बोलेगा सर 40% disabled मतलब 75. Grandfather is not covered. Grandfather is not covered. Therefore 0. Miss Poonam, a resident author, got royalty of 560 for her book on scientific topic. Total income for financial year 21-22, assuming she has not opted for 115 BC. Not opted मतलब वो deduction लेगी 80 QQB का, और 80 QQB का when you subtract 3 lakh rupees deduction, maximum 3 lakh only you get, even if the royalty is 560, then after taking deduction of 3 lakh you will be left with 260. Quantum of deduction for 80 TTA, that is deduction for interest on deposits in saving account, is maximum. What is the maximum threshold? 10,000. Quantum of deduction for 80 PA, profit from farm producer company, if the turnover is less than 100 crore, then they can take 100% deduction of their profits. 80 TTA is allowed when the saving account is maintained with bank, cooperative bank, post office, everywhere it is allowed, but it has to be saving. FD, RD not allowed. TTA is allowed in respect of interest on deposit. For whom? individual HUF, both are going to be allowed. Other assessee is not allowed. And TTB is only resident senior citizen individual. Individual only, no senior citizen. Deduction for 80U in respect of normal disability is going to be 75,000. 80P is not available to which of the following? All the societies will be allowed, only cooperative bank will not be allowed. 80 GGB deduction is allowed to whom? GGB mein any assessee is not covered. GGB covers only Indian company. GGC covers all the other assessee. Ashok pays rent of 5,000 per month. His total income is 280. That is GTI as reduced by other deduction. He is also getting HRA. What will be the 80 GG deduction? Once you get HRA, no limit is applicable. Fully taxable, no deduction. Malav age 65 years earned the following interest. 65. Saving account 12, FD and time. What is the 80 TTB deduction? 12 plus 15, 27 plus 10, 37. Restrict to 10. नहीं. TTB 50. तो 50 मत select कर लेना. Actual is only 37. 80U. Obviously, पागल खाली individual हो सकता है. You can't say, sir, partnership deed फट गया. 80U. 80 CCE. 150 is maximum limit for 80C plus triple C plus CCD 1. Nikhil, an individual who is aged 35 years, incurs following expenses for benefit of his family. That is Nikhil, Mrs. Nikhil, dependent children. All are eligible in 80D. And parents, where father is 80 years, mother is 76 years. मतलब both are senior citizen. Parents के category में we will apply 50 का limit and self के category में we will apply 25 का limit. Nikhil, Mrs. Nikhil and children. Check से pay किया. So allowed. This cash also allowed but maximum 5,000. And medical expenditure is allowed only for senior citizen. That means first category ka total 25 within the maximum. So no problem. For benefit of father, he paid expenditure. Father does not have insurance. Father is resident, senior citizen, no insurance. Resident, senior citizen, no insurance. So 32 allowed. And mother ka premium hai. So that will be allowed. So father and mother ka total is 38, which is within the limit of 50,000. Maximum is 50. So can I say pura ka pura? 38 is going to be allowed. And thus 25 and 38, the total deduction to Nikhil is going to be 63,000. Which of the following? Now these are case law based questions. Couple of questions are on case laws. It was decided by Supreme Court in two different case laws. ये दो अलग-अलग case law, एक मेघालय स्टील से and एक ऑर्कैप फार्मा है. Which of the following will be profits derived from eligible business for 80 IB deduction? Whenever you earn profits from an eligible business, that profit is eligible for deduction. If the government is giving you some subsidies, transport subsidy, they promised you that your transport ka expense we will bear, your interest ka expense, your power expense we will bear. We give you subsidy. So Supreme Court said these subsidies received from the government are also a part of this business activity. Subsidies received from the government are a part of the business activity. So the subsidy ka profit is also eligible for deduction. So subsidy will be eligible. And Meghalaya Steels ka Supreme Court ka judgment. But duty drawback in a separate case law called Orcap Pharma, Supreme Court said this is not treated as eligible from your business. This is export benefit. So this that you receive from the government is treated as eligible profit. See, supposingly I am showing profit of 100 lakhs from the business. So my deduction will be 100 lakhs. Now government is giving me subsidy 30 lakh rupees. So my profit is 130 and government is giving me duty drawback of 10 lakh. So my profit is 140 lakhs. In taxable income, I will write 140. When I take deduction, this is my business profit, I will take it. But that subsidy ka profit will also be included. Yes, Supreme Court said it's a part of your business. But duty drawback is export, so it will not be taken. That means subsidies will be included, but duty drawback will not be included. So 1, 3 and 4 will be treated as eligible profit. Himalaya is an eligible startup, eligible business. GTI includes profits of 25 lakh from such business. AO made disallowance of 3 lakh. This is for failure to deduct TDS, ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है, and 2 lakh of cash payment वाला disallowance. Then what will be the deduction? This is also strictly a case law based question. Case law है सुनील विश्वंभरनाथ तिवारी. Case law based question. That अगर आपका कोई eligible business है, say startup का business, यही example लेता हूँ. 25 lakh is your profit. 100% deduction मतलब 25 lakh is your deduction. Profit equal to deduction. इसमें अगर कुछ disallowance होता है during assessment, there is disallowance 3 lakh and 2 lakh. तो total taxable income में 30 lakh जाएगा because of disallowance of these sections. But this disallowance is also a part of this business activity and thus the total 30 is going to be eligible for deduction. ऐसा court ने बोला. AO said only itna deduction, means income में इतना आएगा but इतना deduction, but court said no, disallowances will be treated as eligible profit. Aryan is constructing residential property in Mumbai for self-occupation. He has taken loan of 35 lakhs on 30th March 21. मतलब last year only loan taken. He pays interest of 3 lakh during 21-22. मतलब उसमें से you can take first SOP 2 lakh and then remaining you can bring in 80 EEA also. He repays 3 lakh towards principal. अच्छा मतलब 2 lakh जाएगा SOP में. 1 lakh will come in 80 EEA which is 150 का limit. And house का value is 35 lakhs. House का value is not given only. जो प्रिंसिपल रिपे किया उस पे 80C का 1.5 and construction is completed in April 22. This is the only property. Then for 22-23, AY 22-23. मित्रों क्या गेम खेला है देखो. Construction completed in April 22. That's PY 22-23. Therefore construction completed in AY 23-24. That means in this year it is under construction property, and when it is under construction property you don't get 24, वो pre construction interest में जाएगा. You won't get 80C, you won't get anything. Under construction you don't get anything. After construction is completed, we will give you your tax benefit. XYZ is in the business of manufacturing of steel, claimed deduction under 80 IB on profits, which included transport subsidy, interest subsidy, power subsidy and duty drawback. The XYZ contended that all the above receipts are eligible business profit. Is that correct? अभी discuss किया. Two different Supreme Court judgments. Subsidies are eligible, duty drawback is not eligible. So yes, all are eligible. Wrong answer. None of them are eligible. Wrong answer. No. Let's read. Transport, interest, power subsidy are profits and hence eligible. Duty drawback belong to other profits, export benefit, not eligible. यही right है. No, nothing is eligible is also wrong. As I already said, this is only right. In 21-22, Mr. Ganguly, a resident individual, 60 years, earned income from profession 145, card games 150, and interest income of 40. Interest 40 है, ये 65 है. Even if it is FD, this interest is so gone in 80 TTB itself and fully gone because it is within the limit of 50. He is resident 60, so this interest is fully gone. And 9,000 on saving. Achha, this also gone. 40 plus 49. Can I say this is gone in 80 TTB? He deposited 150 in PPF. What is the total income? देखो, he has income of 150, 145 and this interest, but interest will go away as deduction. And then PPF का 150 का deduction लेने के लिए you have PGBP and you have casual winnings. तो obviously casual winning के सामने तो होगा नहीं. We can take only up to 145 का PGBP. This remaining 5,000 will lapse and taxable income आपसे पूछा. So taxable income will be only casual winning because remaining income is gone away in deduction. Mr. Shivam, a resident individual, age 51 years, has earned business income. अभी 51 है, मतलब TTB नहीं होगा. 135, lottery income 120 during 21-20. He has FD interest. This interest is eligible. Fully remaining, क्योंकि TTA नहीं लगेगा. TTA नहीं लगेगा because it is FD. TTB नहीं लगेगा because he is 51. He invested 150 in public provident fund. What is the amount of eligible deduction under chapter 6? I can take deduction from 135 and 30 kali इसमें से not allowed. So total eligible is 165, but of course I have contributed only 150. So if I contribute only 150, maximum will be 150. Gamma Limited has distributed dividend on 15/12/21 of 460 lakh to its shareholder. From April to November, Gamma has received 120 from domestic companies, 30 lakh from foreign companies in which it has 5% shareholding. What is the deduction? See, what is simple 80 है. Dividend received or paid, whichever is lower, received or paid, whichever is lower. Received is 460, paid is 120 and 30. Even if it is foreign company, even if it is business trust. Correct or no? So 460 or 150, whichever is lower. PQR Limited, a domestic company, has distributed dividend of 230 lakh to its shareholder. It received 60 lakh from domestic subsidiary. Then what is the dividend? Obviously, dividend received or paid, whichever is lower. Received or paid, whichever is lower. So 230 or 60. 80 M. 80 M. And now we have 2-3 case study based questions. So let's see what do we have. 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. 5 questions you got. R LLP commenced operations of a new 3-star hotel in Baroda, Gujarat on 1/4/21. 35 AD. Hotel of 2-star or more. Company incurred capital expenditure of 75 lakh rupees in March 21 on land exclusively for the business and capitalized. Land है ineligible, land है तो ineligible. Further, मतलब भले pre-commencement is allowed, but land is not allowed. Land, goodwill, financial instrument. Further, during 21-22, it incurred capital expenditure of further 3 crore, out of which 1.25 was for land and 1.75 was for building. That means 75 not eligible, 1.25 not eligible. Finally, only this 1.75 is eligible for 35 AD exclusively for the above business. Payments were made by account paycheck. देखो अगर ये कैश होता तो ये भी लैंड तो एनीवेज डिस्क्वालीफाइड, तो ये भी एलिजिबल हो गया. Profit from business of running this hotel before 35 AD is 80 lakh. That means can I say 80 lakh के सामने we will take 175 का deduction. Land not allowed, only 175. That means specified business has got loss of 95 lakhs. दिख गया मेरे पास. 175 is the deduction, 80 is the profit, 95 lakh. Mr. P, one of the partners of LLP, has commenced business of manufacturing of apparel on 1st October 21. He employed 220 new employees during 21-22. Details are given. 40 employees on 1st October, regular employees 24,000. 80, 50, 30, 21. Date of appointment is given. All employees during the year. This is the date he started the business. Regular, casual. And salaries are given. One thing I can be clear. This is on 80 double J. 80 double J जैसे ही आया ना, these employees gone because it is more than, sorry, my bad, big test that institute did here. This employee gone, only this employee, because more than 25, greater than 25, greater than 25 is going to be disqualified. Greater than 25 is going to be disqualified. अरे समझा क्या? करेक्ट और नो? ठीक है. अब जो बाकी बचा, अच्छा बाय द वे 1 अक्टूबर मतलब 240 डेज तो किसी का भी नहीं हुआ है, तो मैन्युफैक्चर ऑफ अपैरल 150 है तो ये चलेगा 150 इज रिक्वायर्ड, बट दिसंबर वाला नहीं चलेगा ना, बिकॉज दिसंबर वाले का नंबर ऑफ डेज विल बी ओनली 120 डेज, सो दिस ऑल्सो डिस्क्वालिफाइड. दैट मीन्स फाइनली वी आर लेफ्ट विथ ओनली 40, 80 and 30. Even if they are casual, they don't participate in RPF, we will disqualify. 25 की वजह से नहीं होगा because it is greater to get disqualified. Okay, अगर हम देखेगा if they don't participate in RPF तो casual also we will remove. But as of now, ये and ये two categories, this category and this category is removed. All employees participate in RPF. मतलब सुनो इनका 150 days हो गया, this 40, this 80, this 30. There, this is up to 25 greater नहीं है, and they participate even if they are casual, if they participate in RPF, then they will be eligible. The profit derived from manufacture of apparel is 92 lakh. So that's the maximum deduction that we can take in 80 double J double. Turnover is 5.2 crore. So we will assume that he falls in 44 AB. देखो 10 crore is applicable only on cash receipt payment. Data is not given. Okay. From the following information, choose the appropriate answer from the above information. Assuming that PQR LLP has fulfilled all the conditions specified for deduction under 35 AD and has not claimed any deduction under chapter 6. Obviously, क्योंकि 35 AD के सामने chapter 6 से नहीं allowed रहता. The deductions in respect of certain incomes. What would be the quantum of deduction under 35 AD which he is eligible to claim deduction? मैं already बोल दिया land not allowed, only 175 is going to be allowed. So already decided and solved. What is going to be the eligible deduction? 1 crore 70. Assuming PQR LLP has another existing business of 4 star, मतलब सुनो one more specified business in Ahmedabad which commenced operations 15 years back, the profits of which are 130 lakh. That means can I say the loss of specified business can be adjusted against the profit of specified business, other business not allowed. तो यहाँ पे जो भी आपका लॉस आ रहा है 95 लाख, हाउ 95, 80 का प्रॉफिट, 175 का डिडक्शन, तो दैट 95 का लॉस कैन बी एडजस्टेड बिकॉज दिस इज ऑल्सो 4 स्टार. तो व्हाट वुड बी द इनकम चार्जेबल अंडर पीजीबीपी? देखो जरा प्लीज. प्रॉफिट इज 80 लाख फ्रॉम योर न्यू होटल, डिडक्शन 175, अभी 84 नंबर क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो वी डिड, सो लॉस इज 95. दिस लॉस कैन बी एडजस्टेड अगेंस्ट 130 because this is also a specified business profit and thus the taxable income is going to be 35 lakh. 35 lakh is going to be a taxable amount. अरे समझा क्या? If the amount of 1.25 crore for land in 21-22 and 75 lakh was, if out of the amount of 1.25 crore 75 was paid in cash, what would be the answer to 84 and 85? अबे सुन, land का have we taken deduction? Have we taken deduction? See, your eligible asset. Which asset? Building. If you pay in cash, not allowed. Land anyway is not allowed. So will there be any change in our deduction or our taxability? Land has not come only. That means, can I say our answer will still remain 175 and 35 respectively? Considering the assumption given in 86 above, doesn't matter assumption क्या है, land was taken in cash. Anyways land is not eligible. What would be the tax payable? अब सुन, 35 लाख का प्रॉफिट तो मिल गया है, एलएलपी है, तो 35 लाख के ऊपर एलएलपी का जो रेट है 30% प्लस सेस, वो करके यू विल गेट सम 1092 और आपको लगेगा मिल गया सर टैक्स. 35 lakh ka 30%. How 35? We already computed, no? One of the questions. You should use answers to these questions in your other answers. Plus 4%. 1092. Mitro, that's normal tax. Any assessee taking 10 AA, 35 AD or income related chapter 6 has to also calculate adjusted total income. कैसे होगा? 35 lakh is your NTTI. Add back the deduction taken. What was the deduction taken? We took deduction only of 175 building. Add back. तो 35 में add back 175. तो कोई कोई बोलेगा हाँ सर आई एम गेटिंग 2 crore 10 lakhs. Not the full deduction. Net of the depreciation foregone. Building है 35 AD नहीं लेता तो depreciation and you are expected to know the rate also. तो वो 10% adjust करके only 15750 will be added. So 19250 finally will become your 19250 finally will become your adjusted total income. 18.5%. ये 1 crore से ज्यादा है तो 12% surcharge भी आएगा, 4% cess. 41, 48, 144 obviously normal tax or AMT whichever is higher. 41, 48, 144 but they are asking nearest multiple of 10. देखा? Would Mr. P be eligible for 80JJAA in 22-23? What would be the quantum? देखो, these employees are disqualified because उनका remuneration 25,000 से ज्यादा. These employees disqualified because less than 150. Mind you, we are checking apparel business 150 and the other employees are participating. तो eligible because 150 days हो गया है and not exceeding. देखो not exceeding है and RPF में participate कर रहा है, भले वो casual बोले. तो क्या नहीं से ये 40, ये 80 and ये 30. तो 40 into 24,000 नहीं, सामने months भी करना पड़ेगा. Then 30 because this is per month. और गधेड़ा month में ध्यान रखना. This is October 6 months and November 5 months. So 40 into 24,000 into 6 का 30%. 80 into 24 500 into 6 का 30%. 30 into 25 into 5 का 30%. And then check is it within the profits that are being shown. क्योंकि profit से ज्यादा deduction नहीं हो सकता. How will you do it? 50 employees, 20 employees disqualified. 40 into 24,000 into 6 October वाला सबसे पहला 30%. 82 into 24 500 into 6 months October है इसलिए 6 months. 30 into 25,000 November है तो 30% करके 63,81,000 is what you will get and that is given in option B. And now we have one more case study 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. So we have 5 questions. Mr. Sachdeva bought a residential property worth 4 crore at Worli, Mumbai in 2018 and let out to Mr. Akhil. The property was funded through SBI. मतलब it is let out property. Interest due for the financial year to SBI is 40 lakhs. Paid is 37. अबे interest in LOP is allowed on due basis or payment basis? Due basis. And LOP है इसलिए 40 मिलेगा. सुन ले. SOP होता तो maximum 2 lakh. LOP है ना, let out to Mr. Akhil. Mr. Sachdeva then took a loan of 2 crore from another bank, MPC bank, on 1st October 21 for construction of first floor in that house for self-occupation. So one more loan. The construction is on progress on 31st March 22. मतलब under construction property, इसका तुमको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. Mr. Sachdeva started repaying EMIs to MPC bank. ये under construction वाला loan. During 21-22, he repaid principal amount of 30 lakh and 5 lakh to SBI. देखो SBI को जो 30 lakh दिया है ना, that can come in 80C because it is this property completed. लेकिन जो MPC को दिया, that 5 lakh cannot come under construction and उसका interest also cannot come. So they have given interest also disqualified. Under construction वाला disqualified. जो completed construction है, उसका principal will go in 80C and उसका interest will go in house property. Unlimited है LOP इसलिए unlimited. So 80 EEA also not applicable. Interest is given. MPC का interest under construction not allowed. Out of 6, 5 is paid but allowed in here, so irrelevant. Mr. Sachdeva transfers 30 lakh to his minor daughter Raisha's account as her birthday gift. Daughter Raisha purchased house in village at Wada in her name. Raisha gave the said house to Panchayat head and earned rent of 5,000 per month. Okay, minor child का income. आप ये मत सोचना that asset was gifted to father, so clubbed in father. That is only if it is spouse and son's wife. But she is minor child. तो इसका जो rental income है, whose income? In the income of parent with higher income. Mrs. Sachdeva's total income for AY 22-23 is higher than Mr. Sachdeva. That means Raisha's income will be computed, added, clubbed in the hands of her mother. Since she won 20 lakh from lottery this year, in other years Mr. Sachdeva's total income is higher. मतलब normally Mr. Sachdeva का income is higher than wife, but this year mother का income is higher. So this year clubbing in the hands of mother. Miss Raisha has not had any other source of income in any earlier. Also she does not have any. Raisha का और कोई income नहीं है. मतलब this 5,000 will be clubbed in the hands of wife. Mr. Sachdeva bought a petrol-driven car worth 50 lakh and electric vehicle of 70 lakh from loan from BSM Bank, which was sanctioned on 1/4/21, and bank charge interest of 5 lakh on petrol-driven car. Irrelevant, no benefit. But 7 lakh for electric vehicle, so 80 EEB. 7 lakh, but restricted of course to 150 for 21-22. Mr. Sachdeva has also taken loan for कितना loan लेता है बे? From FRM Bank for daughter's higher education. He paid 50,000 as interest to FRM Bank. 80 E. He also paid mediclaim of 20,000 to New India for his own health. Irrespective of age, it is within the 25,000 limit. Sachdeva owns a shop of 100 square feet in Mumbai. Mrs. Sachdeva. She rented out to architect who gave her interest-free deposit of 1 lakh and the rent paid is 60,000 per month. So, she is getting rent and deposit. Mr. Sachdeva's brother, Mr. Ajay, who is a non-resident, sold his house in BKC, Mumbai to another non-resident, Mr. David. Matlab now they are talking about brother also. Brother sold a property to Mr. David also, who is a non-resident, for consideration of 20 crores. And Ajay died on 1st November on account of a car accident. Acha, Ajay just sold his house and he died. From the information, choose the most appropriate answer. What is the interest allowable under 24? 24 matlab house property they are asking. They are not asking it. देखो, ये कार्ड्स का लोन will not be covered. एजुकेशन का लोन विल ऑल्सो नॉट बी कवर्ड. ओनली प्रॉपर्टी, उसमें भी अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन नॉट कवर्ड, वो प्री कंस्ट्रक्शन में जाएगा. कंप्लीटेड इज ओनली दिस वर्ली वाला प्रॉपर्टी. वर्ली प्रॉपर्टी का वी डोंट हैव टू सी द पेड इंटरेस्ट इज अलाउड ऑन ड्यू बेसिस, बट विल बी रेस्ट्रिक्टेड टू 2 lakh. नो सर, एलओपी है, दैट मीन्स वी आर गोइंग टू अलाउ फुल 40 lakh. 37 नहीं, फुल 40. What is the amount of deduction permissible to Mr. Sachdeva under chapter 6A? चैप्टर 6 से देखो, इस फर्स्ट इंटरेस्ट को तो हमने एलओपी में ले लिया, सो दिस विल नॉट बी अलाउड. सेकंड इज अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन, तो नॉट अलाउड. इसका प्रिंसिपल इंटरेस्ट नथिंग अलाउड. ये जो इसने प्रिंसिपल रीपे किया है फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ एसबीआई, दैट विल गो इन 80C, बट 30 लाख का इट विल बी रेस्ट्रिक्टेड टू 1.5. दे आर आस्किंग टोटल चैप्टर 6A का डिडक्शन. टोटल चैप्टर 6A का डिडक्शन, तो 80C का 1.5 is going to be the allowable deduction for SBI का principal. SBI का interest is going in LOP principal. 30 lakh is the principal. He repaid principal of 30 lakh and 5 lakh to SBI and MPC, but restricted, we will restrict it to 1.5. चलिए next क्या दिया? Minor married daughter का income is given, so here तो there is no deduction, no deduction, no deduction. Petrol car का no deduction, electric vehicle का we will take 1.5, correct? Then daughter की education का 50,000 we will be taking because it is interest under 80E, so we are taking 80C. solve किया है क्या? I am not sure. नहीं, जरूरत नहीं था. 80C is 1.5. Then दूसरा 1.5 that we give. First was this 30 lakh के अंदर principal में we are giving 1.5. Then 80EEB में electric vehicle का, then 80E में daughter के education के loan का, and then I think 20,000 उसका mediclaim का 0.2, that is 80D. Okay, so 80C, 80EEB, 80E and 80D total amounts to 3,70,000. That is his total deduction under chapter 6A. Is notional interest on interest free deposit in respect of let out rent let out shop taxable. See, only rent is taxable. Notional interest cannot be taxed. See, it's a difficult question, but some of them are easy. The AO came to know about the transaction of sale of property at BKC. Who transferred this property? Ajay on 15 December and wants to hold Mr. David as the agent. Can he do so? He is the buyer. Anyways, it was David's responsibility also to deduct TDS and he is in possession of the property. So yes, AO can hold David. And in whose hands Raisha's rental income will be taxable. Current year mother's income is higher. Raisha's income will be taxable in the hands of her mother. Case study over. Independent question. ABC Limited, an Indian company, receives dividend of 10 lakh from its subsidiary company XYZ Limited, also an Indian company. 10. It received dividend 8 lakh in February from MNC, a foreign company in which it holds 20. So received from foreign company. That also covered for 80M purposes. Even business trust dividend covered. And it declares dividend of 20 lakh. So dividend received is 18 and dividend paid is 20. Received or paid, whichever is lower. Paid has to be up to the due date, but it is before the due date. So 18 will be your deduction. And last question. Question appears so small. Okay sir, this is small question, not case study. फटाफट हो जाएगा. Mr. Ganesh, resident age 42 years, is salaried employee whose salary computed under normal provisions of Income Tax Act is 14 lakh 50. Normal provision मतलब he must have taken standard deduction and all here. Okay, normal provision बोला ना. Hello, normal provision अगर बोल रहा है, that means in computing this we have taken standard deduction. Correct or no? In addition, he has interest on saving bank account 12,000. So that will get added in his income. He has deposited 150 in PPF. That's his ATC deduction. He has paid medical insurance premium 25,000 by way of account pay check for ensuring his own health. That's 80D in self category. And within the limit, his 42 years, 25 is within the limit. 30,000 by way of cross check for his mother. 30,000 by way of cross check. Correct or no? Cross check. Medical insurance का rule क्या है? The rule for medical insurance is that cash not allowed. So cross check mother ka will be allowed because mother is 75 years. So we will also apply the higher limit, 50 ka limit. And medical expenditure of 35,000 by account pay check for his father 78 years who does not have insurance policy. So mother ka 30, father ka 35, both allowed. 65 but restricted to 50. So parents category 50 and self category 25. 75 ka deduction. 80 TTA of course 10 ka deduction, it's saving account interest, and 150 ka deduction. Ganesh's brother Rajesh is a resident 40 years. He earns rental income of 40,000 per month and 45,000 is also per month from his 2 let out flats. He also has interest on saving account. So iska to rental income, interest on saving account में 80 TTA and deposit 50,000. वो 80 CCD में 50 तो पूरा deduction बनी जाए. Should Mr. Ganesh and Rajesh opt for 115 BAC? मतलब listen, गणेश का इनकम एज पर ओल्ड एंड न्यू एंड टैक्स, राजेश का इनकम एज पर ओल्ड एंड न्यू एंड टैक्स, एंड देन चूज विच ऑफ देम हैव टू अप्लाई फॉर न्यू रेजिम. ठग लाइफ देखा, ठग लाइफ, वेलकम टू सी है. करना पड़ेगा कैलकुलेशन, नो चॉइस. मिस्टर गणेश, व्हाट इज द सैलरी इनकम कंप्यूटेड गिवन टू अस एज पर नॉर्मल प्रोविजन. बोला ना, क्वेश्चन इज सेइंग नो एज पर नॉर्मल प्रोविजन, मतलब we must have taken standard deduction in this salary 1450. After taking standard deduction, we have this. We have saving account interest of 12,000. So that will give us our gross total income of 1460 because Ganesh does not have any other income. He has 80 TTA from this saving account. PPF is given to us. You can check. Saving account का 12 है तो 10,000. ये 80 TTA and 80C. Self category 25,000. And parents में 50 max, 30 eligible non-cash and 35 also eligible medical expense. No mediclaim. So 75. So total 160 and 235. 1227 के ऊपर you will calculate tax in old regime. Then calculate new regime. Then do Rajesh का both calculations. एक मार्क के लिए पका. आज subjective questions only sir, remove MCQs चलेगा. You'll do this as per old regime करेगा ना. 227 पे 30% plus 1,12,500 plus 4%. So you will get 187,824 as your answer as per old. Now let's do new. New में क्या होएगा? In this 1227, we will disallow. Kya? Chapter 6 will be added back, not allowed in new regime, and standard deduction not allowed. So 1227 plus 235 plus 50,000 will be taxable income as per new regime. इसमें कैसे टैक्स कैलकुलेट होगा? 12,000 का 30%. न्यू रेजिम में 12,000 30% प्लस 1,87,500. 12,000 का 30% प्लस 1,87,500 प्लस सेस ऑफ कोर्स 1,98,744. दैट मीन्स गणेश के लिए तो ओल्ड रेजिम इज बेटर. So whichever option says Ganesh go in new is wrong, but that's not enough. We need Rajesh also. So Rajesh, he has got only two incomes, rent and interest. 45,000 12 months, 45,000, 40,000 12 months, 45,000 12 months. I am taking standard deduction here. By the way, let me be clear. What is not allowed? SOP ka deduction is not allowed, interest. And LOP ka loss against other heads. Standard deduction is allowed in old and new regime both. So this will give you your house property income. Saving account interest of Rajesh is given to us as 15,000. The 729 में से we take only two deduction, 10,000 for saving account and NPS का 50. So 60 का deduction 669. 669 पे calculate tax as per old regime. तो just let me check. 669 का old regime में 169 के ऊपर it will be 20% plus 12,500 plus 4% 48,152 is your tax as per old. And what will you disallow? The only benefit that you have to add back is this for new regime. So 669 में if we add back, what do we get? 729 के ऊपर tax, 729 के ऊपर tax if you calculate 0 then and then 229 के ऊपर ना 10% रहेगा. So 12,500 plus 22,900 plus 4% करेगा तो 36,816. मतलब राजेश को न्यू regime में कम tax आ रहा है. Rajesh is getting less tax in new regime. And finally with this we conclude that Ganesh will be in old regime and Rajesh can go in new regime. That means Rajesh should opt for the provisions of 115 BAC, but Ganesh should not opt. 1 mark के लिए, only to get you 1 mark, they have irritated you so much, but that's how it works. Welcome to Chartered Accountancy. Welcome to MCQ. Welcome नहीं, अभी तो well go का time हो गया. We are almost about to get done now. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, last part of our syllabus. These were applicable only for new syllabus, but now everyone is in new syllabus. These three topics, BEPS and tax treaties and model tax conventions, which we also do from the study material. We don't do that from the textbook because the questions behind the textbook are actually relevant. So we will finish off whatever questions we have, and recently for this also there have been some case studies released, so everything will be taken care of. Let's see, what do we have? State whether true or false. DTAA overrides income tax provisions. Yes, but when you misuse, whenever you have something called GAR, GAR is explained to students when we start BEPS. If you misuse, then you cannot be allowed to take. First test to be satisfied for considering an arrangement as impermissible. That means we want to apply GAR. GAR is applicable only when an assessee has taken tax benefit. If assessee has not taken tax benefit, there is no question of applying any anti-avoidance rule. Individual taxpayer making tax saver deposit of 1 lakh in a nationalized bank. That means with that he will take tax benefit. But we have created a section, so that will become a case of planning. Which of the following is the definition of tax? How can a case be tax benefit? Reducing income, yes. Increase in refund, yes. Reduction of tax, yes. All of them will amount to tax benefit. Rajesh, a resident Indian, is an employee of Messrs ABC Limited, Bangalore. In addition to salary income of ABC, he also earns interest from FD. Mrs. PQR Incorporation, foreign company, not having permanent establishment in India, rendered online advertisement services for Rajesh, for which he made payment of 2 lakh, which is correct. Transaction is subject to equalization levy since it exceeds 1 lakh for non-resident, no PE. 6% has to be deducted, both A and B. You will say, sir, yes, sir, more than 1 lakh advertisement services, non-resident, no PE in India. Khatam. Rajesh is a salaried employee, and because Rajesh is a salaried employee, the last condition of, let me remind you, non-resident, no PE, specified service more than 1 lakh to resident or PE of non-resident for business, and thus equalization levy will not be applicable in this case. GAR does not apply to non-resident in relation to investment. Whenever non-resident makes offshore derivative instruments, then GAR is not applicable. Equalization levy shall be levied if non-resident rendering services has PE in India and services are related to PE. No. If services are not related to PE, other random services, then means the PE is not related with the service, then it is levied. Aggregate does not exceed 1 lakh, then not leviable. where specified service is not for the purpose of business, then not leviable. Then not leviable. Only if it is for business. Only when non-resident has no PE in India. Reliance has to pay equalization levy of 10 crores payable to Google, a non-resident if does not have PE, and Reliance is using the service for business. Both conditions have to be fulfilled. Gamma Inc., a foreign company having no PE in India, availed digital advertising space from Monaco Inc. of Japan for its marketing its mobile handsets in India. Gamma Inc. paid Japan $10,000. Paid in Japan $10,000 to Monaco Inc. assuming Indian rupee was 650. Amount of equalization levy. Suno. Yes, agreed that Monaco Inc. may be non-resident without PE, but the receiver of services has to be a resident. Then only 6% is applicable. And as far as 2% is concerned, let me be clear about that also. As far as 2% is concerned, that 2% wala is also applicable only if the total is 2 crore or more for advertising target customers in India. So here equalization levy cannot be applicable. In order to determine residence of an individual, the following factor is not taken into cognizance under the OECD model. OECD model में center of vital interest तो देखना पड़ता है tiebreaker. Habitual abode also. Own house in Chennai which is given on rent for the past 12 years. Okay. Flat taken on rent where you are living. देखो, where you live is basically like your habitual abode. If you have an asset and you have given it on rent, though, it is not going to be considered. Gamma Inc. availed digital advertising space from Monaco Inc. of Japan having no PE in India for marketing its mobile handsets for its PE in India. So this time the person who is taking service, we are taking service from Monaco, non-resident no PE, advertisement service for our PE in India, matlab somebody in India, and Indian rupees is 650, that's more than 1 lakh. So service taken from non-resident, no PE, we are in India, specified service more than 1 lakh, and of course mobile handsets ka advertisement. So for business purpose, so this time 6% is going to be applicable and 6% of 650 will come to 39,000. Penalty payable for failure to remit the equalization levy. So, अगर आप equalization levy time पे नहीं भरते हो, time limit is same as TDS 7th of the next month. खाली March के लिए exception है. It is 31st March. Unlike TDS where it is April, here it is March. But अगर late भरते हो तो 1,000 rupees per day you will have to pay penalty. And then here also we have some case study based questions. 13, 14, 15, 16. UJ International AG is a company incorporated under the laws of Switzerland and it's a tax resident of Switzerland, the foreign company. It operates specific website ujinternational.com providing an online platform for sale of goods, services as well as facilitating purchase of sale of goods or services of third parties to users based in India, outside India, no PE. In short, can we conclude? Non-resident, no PE, and it is an e-commerce operator. So this definitely is on your new wala equalization levy of 2% wala. Modus operandi of third party transactions is as under. Seller entitled to list its product for sale on such website. At the time of listing, seller is required to provide various details regarding product that is desired to be sold, photograph, description, etc. Like Amazon ka website where all seller ka data is put. Correct, because the website is acting as an aggregator also, facilitator also. Buyer can also register himself through the website. While registering, buyer has to give all his details, name, address, age. And while accessing the website, he goes through various products and depending on his requirement, he chooses the product which he wants to purchase online out of the variety of typical Amazon case. It's a typical any e-commerce website for that matter. Seller will register with products ka detail and buyer will register with own detail. Buyer is required to choose the product, add to cart and then click buy it now after registering with the website. They are basically giving you the full e-commerce ka time pass over. It's basically UJ is a e-commerce website. After you agree with the term of condition of sales, an email is sent to the seller, conveys buyer purchases, places the order and seller gets email. UJ International also collect data of potential customers located in different parts of India. मतलब advertisement services also दे रहा है portal से. And the target customer is in India. Another Southeast Asian country who are interested in holidaying in different countries of Europe and Asia from GE Tourism India Private Limited. So GE Tourism से data लिया and it is selling that data, advertisement services, and other companies in Southeast Asia. It sells this data to different tourism companies in Europe and Asia and earns revenue. Assume that gross receipt of UJ from e-commerce supply is 8 crore. 8 crore मतलब वो 2 crore touch हो गया है, and that 2% equalization levy is applicable. चलिए, choose the appropriate answer. Mr. Alex, being a resident of UK, visited in India during November 21, and he ordered certain apparel of brand UJ worth 10,000 from online website ujinternational.com during his stay in India. His apparels were delivered via ready-made garment showroom located in Connaught Place, Delhi. Which of the following is correct? Listen, buyer is non-resident, seller is non-resident, no P e-commerce operator. Buyer is non-resident but has purchased from IP address in India, and that means it's a case which will fall in 2% levy. And of course, for that 2% wala case, remember, buyers don't deduct, they make personal payment. So what the website will do? The website will have to pay from own pocket, and some websites add that in the selling price. So they say this is the selling price, but India is charging 2% on us, and thus we will add 2%. So Alex will deduct? No. UJ is not required to charge? No. UJ is required to charge equalization levy, even if the buyer is non-resident. He is using IP address in India. New equalization levy. What is the due date of payment of equalization levy for the month of March? As I said, 7th of the next month, like TDS. TDS में March के लिए it is April, but for equalization levy it is March only. In which of the following cases equalization levy would be chargeable, assuming that aggregate turnover of e-commerce operator is 2 crore? When will it be chargeable? When e-commerce operator being resident in India sells goods to parties located in India. Because residence e-commerce is not covered only. E-commerce operator being non-resident having P in India and online sales are connected with P. No. अगर sales was not connected तो लग जाता, लेकिन not connected. Being non-resident having P in India, sales to non-resident customer only if they use IP address in India. Being non-resident having no P in India provides access to online movies and other content via its electronic platforms to, of course, people in India. UJInternational.com collects data of potential customers located in different parts of India who are interested in holidaying, and it sells the data to Y Tourism 1 lakh. Which of the following statement is correct? See, UJ is non-resident, no P e-commerce website, selling data to Y Tourism of Singapore, but the target of this data is customers in India, and they have given 1 lakh. Now, the total in the main question already they have already told us that 2 crore is already 8 crore is already achieved. 8 crore is greater than or equal to 2 crore. That means equalization levy is applicable on UJ, and if the target customer is in India, then is 1 lakh के ऊपर 2% equalization levy is going to be applicable. समझा क्या? That was your first case study, and we have second case study. Mr. M, age 45 years, an Indian citizen, is employed with a multinational company, Worldwide Limited. He holds senior level position as pharmaceutical researcher in the Indian grown company of Worldwide Limited based in Mumbai. मतलब 2009 से he is based in Mumbai at senior management. Considering the importance of his role in the group and his exceptional performance in India, for the first time in 21 he was entrusted with the task to travel to first time मतलब travel कर रहा है to various group companies outside India to share his knowledge, findings and research while continuing to be based in Mumbai office, and the details of his travel are given. UK, Australia, France, 20th August to 10th November, 21st November to 23rd December, 10th January to 26th March. Now listen, he has stayed in UK from 20th August. That means India ka stay we can count till 19th August and start from 11th November. Actually में incoming day, outgoing day is counted, but here they are saying UK में stay किया from 20th August. मतलब India में till 19th August and from 11th November. India में till 20th November and again start from 24th December. Then India में from 9th January he will stop and again from 27th March. मतलब India का start date and end date, start date and end date यहाँ पे होगा because he left the country, and start date will be here. Followed, because this is, they have not said this is incoming outgoing day. They have said this is the period you stay in that country. Mr. M is entitled to salary of 43,80,000, very big senior management level for 21-22. Entire salary is paid by Indian company in his Indian bank account. चलिए, मतलब it's paid in India. Proportionate salary was however borne by overseas company based on the number of days he was physical present. मतलब whatever is this day 4380 में we paid you in India, but we will charge our branch offices and recover that money. Overseas companies have reimbursed the proportionate salary to the Indian company. Other than salary, he does not have any other detail. Chaliye. Mr. M owns a house property in Mumbai since 2009, which he occupies for own residence. So, SOP. He continues to repay the loan availed in 2009 for purchase of this property, and the interest payable in the current year is 425. Obviously, SOP है तो maximum 2 lakh मिलेगा, and brought forward losses attributable to the property for 2021 and 21-22 is 5 lakh. मतलब past का भी brought forward कुछ losses आपका होगा, but this is SOP. Don't forget that this is SOP. House property का SOP का loss है. This is SOP. This is SOP. All these losses are attributable to this particular house property. All these losses are SOP losses. Impressed by better infrastructure, quality education and safety in UK, M bought a residential property in UK also in December 21, and he earned rental income of Great Britain pound 3,300 for the month of Jan, Feb and March from UK का property. सुनो, December में he purchased property because he was impressed. So Jan, Feb, March 3 months he earned 1100 pound. GBP is Great Britain pound. 1100 per month, मतलब total 3,300 rental income earned in UK. Of course, we'll convert it to the Indian currency, but only 3 months ka. Okay, that's his rent, and that's LOP. Obviously, that's LOP. Obviously, so Indian house is SOP and UK house is LOP. Telegraphic transfer ka rates are given. Now listen. In one of our questions in the past, if you remember, we had done that whenever your salary is in foreign currency, salary का conversion is the exchange rate of the last month का last date. मतलब April का salary convert at 31st March, May का salary on 30th April. But for house property and business income, the conversion rate is always of the last day of the year. What is the rule for salary? If you want to write, I will just tell you. For salary, what exchange rate? Last day of previous month. That exchange rate you have to apply. But for house property and PGBP, you have to apply the year end ka rate. Matlab this 3,300 will be converted at the rate of 93.07. Of course, that is your received rent. So we have to give standard deduction. And he has investment in shares. He purchased 500 shares of Indian company XYZ Limited on 17th March 2017 at a cost of 150 per share, STT paid. As per scheme of amalgamation dated 10 January 18 between X Limited with another Indian company PQR, M received 250 shares of PQR Limited in lieu of shareholding. Matlab on 10th January, amalgamation took place. So on 31st January 18, he has got PQR ka shares. FMV we will take PQR ka. If at all we have to calculate capital gain. Apparently it is looking like that only. And on 4th April 21, he sold the shares at 250. So PQR ka 250 tha, he sold at 325. That's the sale consideration. Of course, we will compare with FMV and also his actual cost. His actual cost we have to take of the previous company, because cost of amalgamating company becomes cost of amalgamated company. FMV is given. XYZ PQR is irrelevant. We are interested on 31st January when there is only PQR. And now choose the most appropriate answer. What is the residential status? See, this will decide a lot of things. The taxability of incomes and all. So residential status is being asked to you. He has left India for these days, and I told you that this date is his period of stay outside. That means you count in India till 19th August. So how will we count his residential status? April, May, June, July, August may we count till 19th. Why? Because from 20th he is in UK. Then he came back on 11th November. 10th November he was in UK. Matlab India mein I am counting from 11. So November mein, see, August ho gaya. September, October 0 he was in UK. November mein 20. Then again 21st November se he was in Australia. Matlab I will count only how many days? Till 20th November I will be counting. So November mein I will actually not be taking 20 days. November mein I will not be taking 20 days. You will have to reduce the number of days here. Due to error in this solution, I will be solving it afresh in front of you. Okay. Yes, I know that I have solved. I told you I have solved, but there was one error here. So let me solve it fresh for you. Let's start from the month of April. He was in India in the month of April. 30 days. See, first time he went when? In August. So April, May, June, July. Full year. First time he left India when? On 20th August he was in UK. That means in India I will count 19 days of August. August. Then September and October he was not in India. Okay. November till 10th he was in UK. So 11th he was in India, and again 21st he was in Australia. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. November ke liye I will take only 10 days. Only 10. So August till 19, September, October 0, November only 10 days, because again on 21st he was in Australia. What I am doing here is I just want to explain, you should not get confused. We have always studied incoming, outgoing days should be included, but here they are saying on 20th August he was in UK. So how can we call it incoming day, outgoing day? On 10th November he was in UK. Maximum we can say 11th is incoming and 20th is outgoing. So we can take only 10 days. Then 23rd December he was in Australia, but 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So December mein we will take 8 days. Then again he left India. 10th January he was in France. Matlab till 9th he must be in India. So we will take 9 days of January. February he was not there. So 0. And March mein he was in France on 26th. So incoming day we can count as 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, only 5 days. So April, May, June, July, August ka first time he left. September, October he was not there. November we are counting from 11 to 20. December we are counting from 24 to 31. 1 to 9 in January, February 0, and March this. So we get 30, 35. That's 173 days. So 182 nahi hua, agreed, but 60 hua. And do you know that he is here since 2009, first time he has gone? So therefore 60 done, and therefore 365 done, and therefore, listen, now you will be thinking, sir, he is going out for employment. No sir, he will continue to be based here. He is only going for a temporary period, only for he is not actually going and taking up an employment there. He is not going and taking up an employment there. He is our employee. Employment is here only. It's a temporary guidance trip. Supposingly my company is sending me for 10 days from Mumbai to Delhi to work. That does not mean that my job is in Delhi. My job continues to remain in Mumbai. It's a temporary assignment that has been given to me. My employment has not shifted. Correct or no? So 60 done, 365 done, therefore resident. And last so many years he was in India only, no? Check, no, they have said since 2009 India only. And therefore Mr. M becomes resident and ordinarily resident. Resident and ordinary resident. What would be the income chargeable under the head salaries for the purpose of deduction under 192, assuming that he does not opt for 115 BAC? What is the salary that he is getting? 4380. Even if the other offices are reimbursing, he is ROR, world income taxable, 4380 taxable. But if he does not opt for 115 BAC, then will we make him pay tax on 4380? We will give him standard deduction and make him pay tax only on 4330. Only on 4330. So not opted for 115 BAC, that is why 50,000 we are minusing standard deduction. But world income is taxable. Cost of acquisition for shares of PQR Limited. See, it's a listed share and before 31st January 18. So what is the rule? Selling price or FMV, whichever is lower, compare with actual cost, whichever is higher. Selling price kya tha? You can't take in number of shares because actual cost kya tha? Old company ka hai. So we have to take in rupees. Selling price 250 into 325. FMV is 250 into 360. So selling price or FMV, whichever is lower, and compare with actual cost, whichever is higher. What is selling price? 250. What is selling price? 250 into 325, 81, 250. And FMV is 360, so 90,000. Between these two, we have to choose whichever is lower and then compare with actual cost. So 81, 250 or 75, whichever is higher. 81, 250 or 90, whichever is lower. 81, 250, that compare with 75, whichever is higher accordingly. Do we have it in the options? 19th answer. Okay. Mr. M wants to know his tax liability under section 115 BAC. For this purpose, what would be the amount of income chargeable under हाउस प्रॉपर्टी? देखो टैक्स नहीं बोला है, दे आर सेइंग व्हाट इज द हाउस प्रॉपर्टी इनकम इफ ही गोस फॉर 115 बीएसी. हाउस प्रॉपर्टी इनकम क्या? देखो, ही हैज गॉट 2 प्रॉपर्टीज. दिस इज एसओपी जिसका ऑल द इंटरेस्ट इज गिवन, एंड लंदन में ही हैज गॉट 3 महीने का रेंट विच इज 3 मंथ्स रेंट एलओपी. If he goes for 115 BAC, then this SOP का interest not allowed. 115 BAC. मतलब खाली लंदन का rental income we have to calculate 3,300. I already told you salary के लिए we take last date of last month, but for house property we will take this rate. So 3,300 will be converted at a rate of 93.07. Standard deduction though, you will automatically get the house property income. This, because he is going in 115 BAC, we are not taking the SOP loss. Otherwise, we would have taken SOP loss. But ये क्या बोला under 115 BAC. So this, Mr. M does not offer the income from UK property in his return of income filed for AY 22-23, for which assessment has been made under 143.3, but AO has not noticed this fact. What is the limit for reassessment notice? So AY 22-23, foreign asset not declared, foreign asset not declared. Listen carefully, listen carefully. Now reassessment ka time limit has changed. Reassessment ka time limit is now confined to 3 years from assessment year or 10 years from assessment year. But as per the old provision, if you have foreign asset undeclared, so old provision which is changed, we all know that the whole concept of search and reassessment has changed this year. In the old concept, you had time limit of 16 years from assessment year. Kitna? 16 years from assessment year. So ye old ke hisab se answer given to year is 16 years from assessment year, 31st March 39. We all know now it has changed. We all know it has, but then 26 is not given in the options also. No? So we have to take it as per the old provision. Okay. Finally, ABC and Company and PQR and Company are two non-resident entities based in country A and P respectively. Both entities own and operate electronic facility through which they effect online sale of organic products manufactured from them. So, non-resident and selling online, e-commerce operator. Details of the receipts from sale during the previous year. Receipt from sale of organic product to persons in India. This will be taken in the turnover. This will be taken in the turnover because the buyer is in India. Sale of organic product to resident in other part of the world. Non-resident we don't take unless it is IP address of India or target customer in India for advertisement. Out of sum mentioned, the receipt from person using IP address in India. That means out of the sum mentioned in this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Out of the sum mentioned in 2, this is IP address in India, means this plus this ka total will be taken. This plus this ka total will be taken. We will be taking the total. What is the total here? 138 plus 63 is coming to 201. That's 2 crore and 1 lakh. And 126 plus 73 is coming to 1 lakh ka difference. Matlab this is meeting the criteria of 2% levy, but this is not touching 2 crore. Equal to bhi hota na, to attracted. Is equalization levy attracted? Equalization levy will be attracted for ABC, but it will not be attracted for PQR. Attracted for ABC and it will not be attracted for PQR. So that was our last question. I wanted MCQs to get over in single digit episodes. In between I had to go a little fast. First of all, I solved the questions first, then I had to go a little fast. I do realize that this is not the normal way in which we learn the subject in class, but then our target here was that you are able to solve and practice these MCQs in the fastest possible time. I want more and more students to take the advantage. So if you were happy with the series, like, share, subscribe, give your comments. Thank you for watching. I wish you all the best. Good luck. Thank you for all the patience and cooperation that you have had for some of the longer lectures, especially when PGBP ka MCQs was done. Thank you so much for everything. Have a nice day. Study well. Good luck. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.